And it says we are alive. Hold on. I actually have a new microphone that we're gonna try it. I don't know if this is gonna work. We'll see. I wanted to try a clip-on microphone, so we're gonna see if it actually works here tonight. This is like the test run for the new microphone. I'm your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, please like, comment, share, of course, subscribe. And hit that notification bell. It helps me out a ton. It lets you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Men, the Everything Factor, all the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for, as well as all of my social media links. All that's in the description down below, and also in the description down below. And if you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you know what to do. You can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon. See what we have to offer to you through spring. Or, of course, hit the join button, baby, at any given time and become a channel member. Happy Independence Day. Happy 4th of July to each and every one of my American friends. I hope that you guys are having a great start to, I guess, a holiday weekend. Do you guys also get Friday off now? Like, will this be a whole like Independence Day weekend for you guys? Of course, last weekend was Canada Day weekend, and yes, much like I mentioned last week, coming back. If this was 5 years ago, coming back on this Thursday, I would now be saying to you, and I'm a married man. And of course, now we are just past 5 years. We had a lovely, lovely weekend for our anniversary. And not for nothing, I had a lot of people who also wished me a lovely anniversary for the live show. And of course, we had last week's anniversary giveaway. Another huge thank you to Nickel for kind of supplying the Earthrise Wheeljack for that. So we have a number of things that kind of came up over the last couple of days, and that's going to be our focus in the news tonight. I don't know what kind of a crowd, how many people we're going to have here, because not for nothing, I realize that it's a holiday weekend in the US. So I understand that a lot of people are probably, I would imagine, celebrating, I guess, you know, fireworks and barbecues and beverages. And I don't know. I don't know what you guys do for the 4th of July. Although I've been in the US a few times for the 4th of July when I was young. The fireworks really stood out to me. So anyway, there you go. Hold on a moment here. Let's see who we do have here, though. Bear with me here just a moment, guys. As we go up here a bit. Hey, Francis. Hey, Soundwave. Happy 4th to you too, Francis. Hey, Marcus. Earlier, I returned from my yearly trip to the tractor show, and I came back with a major Transformers haul. Some Titans Return, nice. But my highlight was the 2007 Voyager Prime. A good Prime, honestly. That Voyager Prime was a great Optimus. I remember him from back in the day. A bunch of happy 4th of Julys, of course, to each and every person celebrating, for sure. We celebrate 4th of July because it's celebrate our victory for World War II. Is that what? No, that's not what 4th of July. I didn't think that was. I thought that was the War of Independence. I thought that was when America became a country independent from British control. Right? That's why it's called Independence Day. Am I wrong about that? I always thought it was the birthday of America, just like Canada Day is the birthday of Canada. Maybe somebody can clear that up for me, because I really don't know. Hey, Darren. Hey, hey, Clifton. Hey, Manitoba. Driving this evening or what? 4th is Independence Day. This is really basic stuff. Yeah, that's when the Declaration of Independence was signed. Oh, okay. All right. So there you go. Not Thanksgiving. Not Thanksgiving. Interesting. Okay. 1775 independence? I thought it was 1776. I thought that independence was 1776, and I thought it was... I could be wrong about all that. I'm not American, so I could totally be wrong about all this, but I've studied an awful lot of history. You know, I'm a history, sociology buff, so... but that's not saying that I got it all right. Soundwave says, got your Tiger Hawk. Nice. And B movie Megatron from BBTS. For birthday a week early. Nice. Happy early birthday. I'm assuming you mean the concept art Megatron. Is that what you mean? Which is pretty great, honestly. Folks, maybe they are trolling. I don't know. I'm not American, so... there you go. Kildeo said the same thing. Kildeo was like, I'm not American. I don't know. watching Master Force and getting to the God Ginrai episode, and then you're going to want a God Ginrai. That's how that's going to work. I've been 100% correct. Yay! Hey, you follow me on Instagram. Nice. Oh yeah, I've seen you there, Monarch or Clifton. I appreciate it, buddy. I'm glad that you're here. Let's jump into the news, shall we? Let's have a good old time here. Let's get going. And where are we going to start things? Where are we going to begin things tonight? This seems like a good place to begin things. Why not? Just give me a moment here. Nah, ain't that adorable? This, of course, is Symbiote Studios' newest offering. It is a third version of Grimlock as a plush. Why they've done 3 versions, I'm not sure. And to be quite frank, I really can't remember off the top of my head what the other 2 versions were like. I feel like one was a robot, and I feel like one was Dino mode, but a little more rounded. This one looks a little less rounded, a little less stylized. It's a nice looking Grimlock if you're into having like if you're into having I don't even know what to call this. I guess semi-realistic dino shapes for your plushes. You know, I mean, it's a way to go for sure. I'm not a plush guy. Our youngest used to be, so we actually have a lot of plushes. This would have fit right in. I probably, if they were still young enough that plushies were their thing, I'd probably get them one of these just because it's cute. We also have this, and I'm not going to lie, maybe you guys can kind of fill this in for me a little bit. TFCon Toronto is coming up, and Fans Hobby is doing this. Boom. And of course, it's given some third-party name. I don't know who this is supposed to be. I assume you guys might know. If somebody knows right now in the comments, can somebody tell me? Because I don't have a clue who this is supposed to be. But it's always based on someone real. Usually it's some like obscure like G2 thing. Like last year's, I think, was like one of the Predators or something. But I'm not sure offhand. And not for nothing, if I look this up, I'm sure I would know who it is. It's just I didn't care enough to look it up right now. But I'm assuming one of you guys probably know. And that's why I didn't look it up, to be honest with you. Right? Yeah, the concept art. Yeah. I've heard only great things about the concept art. Honestly, if I didn't own Super Megatron, I think I would have gotten this concept art one as a stand-in for Super Megatron, because he does the tank, he does the plane, he is the robot, and he kind of has those Super Megatron proportions. It doesn't have a place to fit in my collection, but I've been nothing but impressed with that concept art Megatron. If he fits in your collection, then man, I cannot blame you. Enjoy. He looks splendid, and I don't think I've heard a bad word about him, really. Some people have mentioned that the alt modes are a little janky, but come on. He's going to spend most of his life as a robot, and I haven't heard one bad thing about that. Clench, thank you. Looks like a remold of Armada. Yes, and I'm pretty sure it is a remold of the Armada Prime, to be honest with you, because I mean, there's the truck. Come on, that's obviously their Armada Prime. Forget about the trailer. Like, look at the cab. It's obviously their Armada Prime, right? And not for nothing, this. But yes, Clench, thank you guys. I knew that somebody here was gonna, well, I knew you guys were gonna know. I think it's a pretty cool one. I like that Fans Hobby does this outside of like left field type of stuff. And my understanding is that this will be, I just want to make sure now that I'm telling you the correct information. Yeah, $220 Canadian. So probably 170 US, 180 US, something like that. But I think that honestly, this is probably worth that. Only 700 pieces though worldwide. So he will have a super limited run. I think last year's was, I think they called him Huntsman. I don't remember which Predator it was now. I did know at the time. But thank you. Yes, it's Clench for sure. Let me go back to what you guys were saying, because I know I left the chat there a little bit. And I know I'm skipping some stuff, guys, so, you know, bear with me a bit. I'm sorry about that. Pretty good modernization for Clench. I agree, absolutely. Would make a nice Armada version of Onslaught. And you know what? I could kind of see that too, Brandon. Yeah. Hey, DJ. Happy Independence Day to all of the Americans. Thank you for your service, Darren. I missed something there. Oh, there you go. Happy birthday. Happy 4th of July from a Navy vet. There you go. Little did I know. Had no idea. You never know about other people's lives sometimes, hey? I may try to pick up that Fans Hobby Clench for my new cash shelf. If you can get it, I think it's a good one to get. You know, usually what happens with the TFCon stuff, if there's things that say haven't sold there or whatever, a lot of times it goes up on like ages 3 and up, or Chosen Prime, sometimes both of those. I think that this is actually being offered like exclusively by Chosen Prime. So I'm sure that there'll be 700, but how many of those will be at the con and how many of those will end up on the website? I don't know. Oh, there you go. Mic sounds fine on her end. Thanks. I'm kind of glad because I asked about the mic and nobody said anything. And we were curious because like normally I got my other mic down here. You guys don't generally see it. And sometimes, of course, I'm closer to it or I'm further from it. So I was like, you know what? I really kind of would like to have one of those clip-on ones. And anyway, that's where this came from, right? Wow, Marcus is very excited. Starscream Wife is here. Let's go to our next piece of news for sure. I like this. And it's this, of course. We all know what this is by now. This is that 2-pack. I detest that it's done as a Pulse exclusive. I absolutely detest that. But again, like, this is okay. I kind of wish that Zeron was a bit bigger. But to be fair, Deluxe is probably okay for him for 2 reasons. One, because he was really a non-fighter. He's a speaker. He's an orator. He wins you over with his voice more than his fury. And 2, because he's a non-combatant, part of that is because he knows he doesn't have the stature of other bots. So this makes sense. He'd be a bit smaller. Then we, of course, have Flame, who I really don't know much about, but I don't have this mold at all. I've heard generally good things about it, other than the knee. And I wondered if they had the knee fixed on this one. I like that that can go on his back too, by the way. And then we see, where is it? Where is it? Yeah, here. I don't know if that's as far as the knee goes. Now, luckily, I do know, as a lot of people have shown before, that you can kind of cut the plastic piece off and the knee gets full bend. If I somehow have this, that's 100% what I will have to do, because this will get right on my nerves. I do not know why they wouldn't fix the knee. I hope that it actually is fixed, but looking at this, it doesn't appear that way. So I don't know. Make of that what you will, I guess. Then we have this. I think this is beautiful, honestly. I mean, come on, man. Look at that. It's jazz and it's gorgeous. This is the 3.0, I think it is. I think this is, yeah, this is the 3.0 M Deluxe. So the M Deluxe is the kind of scale that's, I don't want to say smaller, but it's the more, it's the smallest scale. It's the one that's the most accessible, if I'm not mistaken. Right, I think it goes M Deluxe, Deluxe, and then Premium, right? This looks really great for Jazz. I don't know if I actually went in here. Yeah, I did. I want to show this. Like, that's a great looking group shot. I've seen the Optimus, I've seen the Bee, I've seen the Cliff Jumper. I've never seen the Side Swipe or now the Jazz. Personally, I prefer Jazz without the door wings, although the RTS has the door wings and it's beautiful. The G1 has the door wings and it's beautiful. So there's an argument for it. I have heard, and let's just quickly run through the pictures here. I've heard that the door wings can move out of the way. But I was like, I don't think so. I don't think I've seen anything that would indicate that. And looking at these pictures, I think, oh no, maybe I'm wrong. Are they down here? Are they kind of folded down a little bit in that? Maybe. Maybe they can move a little bit. Maybe. Either way, M Deluxe looks beautiful. I don't know what the price is in the US. I think they're about somewhere between 50 and 70 here in Canada. So maybe 40, 50 in the US. I don't really know, but I can tell you this much, even though it doesn't transform, the sculpt and the deco and the paint is wild on these. Really, really, really wild. And pictures will never, ever do it justice. That's not a knock against pictures. It's just a statement of fact. It is what it is. Let's go here next, because I made a mistake about this. So here, of course, we have that 2-pack that's going to be an exclusive. I think it's an SDCC exclusive, if I'm not mistaken. And we know that it is D16 Megatron as a gladiator and Orion Pax Optimus as like a security officer. And I said that it was the ones that came in the previous kind of Amazon 2-pack. Incorrect. And I apologize. They are both Voyager indeed. In fact, what they actually are is this is a heavy, I'll say a fairly heavy remold of the Studio Series Gamer Edition Optimus. It makes it taller because I'm pretty sure we have new feet, new lower legs. I think the thighs, the pelvis, and the abdomen are the same. Probably the forearms and fists. I think the elbow, the upper arms, the chest, even the head is all new. So there's a lot of new parts here, but it's actually, yes, 2 Voyagers. You can see here, much bigger than the deluxe that I thought that he was. My mistake. I stand corrected. The 2 Megatrons here. I mean, again, one looks like a miner. The other looks like he's seen some stuff. I kind of like this Cybertronian mode for Optimus, to be honest with you. I think that it's all right. I think it worked out pretty well. I don't know how solid it is, but I kind of really like this, to be honest with you. So, great set if you're in for it. I think it's the correct sort of thing to be a exclusive. I also like that on the back we don't have any hollowness this time. His feet or whatever like actually fold down and give you exactly what you need. It's cool. It's a cool set. I don't think I particularly need it. I'm not going to lie. Honestly, if I was going to SDCC, I know 100% I would get that. I know in the moment, spur of the moment, I would 150% get that set. Let's just check in with you guys real quickly here again. Let's see. I said it at the beginning about the mic and stuff, but I'm glad it sounds good. The microphone does sound muffled, says Kildy, and it might be where I have it like positioned or something. Can you hear me now? I don't know. We'll work with it a bit. We'll work with it a little bit, and we'll see if we can figure it out as we go. Clench is cool. I would wonder if Hasbro makes Clench from Laser Prime. I mean, maybe. I feel like if they're going to make a Clench, they're going to do it from the Armada Prime. Honestly, I feel like they would just use that mold and probably not worry about the combining feature. But I don't know. Hey, Master Farr. Pre-ordered the Marvel Comics 2-pack. Looks amazing. And that's fair. Absolutely, that's fair. Is anyone else getting a crackling every now and then on sound? Like static for a millisecond? Or is it that my new headphones? It could be the mic. It honestly could be the mic. Keep it simple. Flame is an evil. Yeah, I knew he was an evil Autobot scientist. And I knew that he wanted to do something, and Zeron didn't like it. Like, I get that the 2 characters are connected and stuff, but again, because I'm not a comic book guy for it, like I don't know the background, right? I get a slight cackle sometimes. No big deal, and that might just be my voice being loud, to be honest with you. Hey, Terry. The M Deluxe Jazz is stunning. I agree. Absolutely it is. The Jazz could probably look cool in live action animation. I agree. Absolutely could. Should I get SS Pablo? I don't know. I haven't experienced it. I didn't get it. So, you know, if I did, and it's not that I'm like, oh, I didn't get it because this is not my Wheeljack. That's not why. It's just when I've seen it, it's been like, yeah, but I want this more, right? And since the prices now, you know, are so idiotic, I'm not going to look at it and say, oh, shag it, I'm just going to buy 2 of them, right? I'm going to buy this one and this one. That's not what I do anymore, and that's Hasbro's fault because that's what I used to do. If I see it and I don't have another priority in the works or in hand, then I might get it. I wouldn't not get it Master Fire based on it not being like a traditional wheeljack. You could easily reuse that as its own character. Easily put it in a display as its own thing. You could make it Pablo. So should you get it? I don't know, because I have never seen a review. I don't know anything about it, so I can't speak intelligently on it. And let's see here. Starscream Wife is out again. If it's going to be SDCC exclusive, I'm going to get it. Well, then I guess you're going to get it. I heard your deep, gorgeous voice smoothly. Nice, nice. Fun fact, when I was 10 and in grade 5 for the elementary choir, the bass section was me and one other guy. And the other guy, David, shout out to David, he was like the tallest guy in class. And we were the only two whose voices, I guess, had started to change or something. I guess, or maybe just naturally, we were a little lower than the rest of the people. But we were the bass section of the elementary choir. Make of that what you will. I do think a more solid truck for Cybertronian Prime makes more sense. Not much point having a trailer hitch without a trailer. Fair. Just got back from Church Circle of Prayer anniversary. Well, I hope it was a good time for you, I guess. Yeah, the Armada Prime, that's what I said too. If they made an official clench out of Armada Prime, I'm here for it. Here's the thing. I didn't get the Armada Prime because I didn't need an Armada Prime. It's as simple as that. But I've only heard that the mold is amazing. And if they want to do a Commander class clench, yeah, okay, that'd be an excuse for me to have that mold. Sure, go for it. Flame big plan was to make zombie Transformers and even made a zombie out of the dead body of Impactor. Hardcore. Hey, Razor Bear. What? Listening as I reorganize my WWE Elite figure shelves. Why do I do this to myself? I mean, all you really need is Roman, and you put everybody around Roman, right? And well, Roman and Rock. All you need is Roman and Rock, and you put everybody else around Roman and Rock, right? Right? Yes, I've seen Scramble City numerous times. I really wish it was in English. Hey, Mike. As we go down here a bit. Speaking of which, how is Starscream Wife? She's doing all right. She's alive over there. I'm not gonna lie. May was a bit of a rough month for us, but you know we're coming on the other side. We're doing all right. We're doing all right. Summer's here, and we're doing all right. We're trying to live our best life. It's all about being a team, man. Team. I'm telling you, you find your person, you find your people in your life, and even when you get angry, even when you don't like each other, I'm telling you, be motivated by the love, be motivated by team, because none of us will get through life by ourselves. Little like life lesson of the day. It was also my late friend's birthday, sadly. Well, condolences for that. Scramble City was what Japan got instead of the... not really. My understanding has always been that Scramble City is supposed to have been the bridge between season 3 and the movie. And then after the movie, it was Headmasters. Maybe I'm wrong, but that was always my understanding. My understanding was that it was season 1, 2, 3, and then instead of season 4, the 3-episode season that we got, season 4 that was supposed to be 5 episodes, but instead of that, they got Scramble City, and then everybody got the movie or some version thereof. And then in Japan, it went to, no, it was the bridge from season 2. Sorry. Let me take that back. My understanding was that Scramble City was the bridge from season 2 to the movie and then season 3. That's what I've always understood. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Japan didn't get the movie, but I thought they did. I know it was a little bit later, like around the era, I think, of like Victory or something. But I think that eventually, once the movie came, I think the timeline that kind of has grown, and I could be wrong. If anybody here is from Japan and knows better, tell me. But my understanding has always been that it was season 1, season 2, Scramble City, the movie, season 3. And then instead of season 4, Japan got Headmasters. Maybe I'm wrong. Speaking of summer, we've been hit with triple-digit temps. Ugh, that sounds gross. My Roman is Shield Roman, and there is no other Roman. Fair enough. But you know, even Shield Roman, like you could still put him there standing over Dean or Mox, if you prefer, standing over Rollins, because even then, you know he was the tribal chief, right? All you had to do was acknowledge him. Even then, right? Am I getting on your nerves with Roman and the acknowledging stuff? Did you see Friday? Anybody here who's a wrestling fan, did you see Friday? What a mess. What a mess of nonsense that was with the blood. It's always a mess of nonsense with the bloodline. But I mean, man, Paul, whew, I'm not going to say anything more than that. Not to brag or say this, but not to brag or say, but this year is my girlfriend and my 8th anniversary. Good for you guys. That's a good milestone to get to. Honestly, a lot of people don't get that far. Scramble City is not canon in the Japanese lore. It was basically an extended toy commercial to show off what can be done with the toys. Scramble City is just more commercials. I mean, to be fair, it's all commercials, really. But like, I kind of understood that it was the bridge from season 2 to the movie and a way to introduce like Ultra Magnus, so that when he appeared in the movie, we already knew now who Ultra Magnus was, and introduced Metroplex and Trypticon, and right? I don't know. I don't follow it that much, but yeah, I've seen it a bunch of times. Japan got the movie after Victory. Yeah, that's what I thought. But I still think that like in Japan, even after they got the movie, I feel like it kind of got retconned of like, oh, this was supposed to happen then, right? It was like me. Like I watched, like Transformers was off the air. I never saw the movie in '86. Didn't even know it existed in '86. I had already seen season 3 and I guess season 4, and like Transformers was done on TV. It was off the air before our province got a VHS copy of the movie. And then I was like, what is this? I'd heard rumblings that there was a Transformers movie, but that was it. That was all I ever knew. Because remember, 80s, no internet or anything, right? So if it wasn't in an encyclopedia or a magazine or on a commercial on TV, I didn't see it. And where I lived, there was one theater. And like, I don't remember being in there. And this one theater had one screen. So there were only so many movies that they showed. And there was a lot that got missed, right? So I was kind of more like the 89 before I realized that there was a movie. And I watched it and I done the same thing. I was like, oh, now it makes sense what happened, right? I'd always just assumed like another million years had passed and this was the new characters. But I mean, I didn't know what I was talking about. I was a kid, right? I think Japan just got a short animation where Autobots and Decepticons were having a big fight, or having a firefight. Optimus got shot and died. Probably that'd be enough. I mean, have you ever read some of those like Legends comics that extends the G1 with the whole precursor world and the 7 matrices and the different colors? It's wild. It becomes too much for me. Let's get back to the news. I got off on a bunch of tangents there. What about this thing? Devil Savior gift set. So if you hunted down all of the different unique pieces of Devil Savior and you bought them all and you struggle with the transformations because I've heard that they're a bit Herculean and you finally got them combined and stuff and like he looks great and whatnot and like you're happy with it, but man, doing that transformation is rough and blah, 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 because I've heard mixed reviews of Devil Savior. What a big old fat waste of time that was, hey? What a big fat waste of time that was, because they're doing a box set. Not only are they doing a box set, but they're throwing in a whole extra accessory, being the Pyramid of Giza. Like, yeah, cool. Okay, do that. The box set is going to have the pyramid in it. Not for nothing, I'm going to say this now, because I want to make sure that I mention this. Where is it? Where are you, Devil Savior? Because I wanted to talk about something with the pyramid for a second. Well, I can't find this now. This is crazy. Why can't I find this? That's okay. You guys can look at. You know what? Here. What about this? Here. There you go. It's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bots that are in the set. Where is this? You slain. Here we go. Devil Savior. So it's going to come, yes, with the Pyramid of Giza, 26 by 40 centimeters. Like, it's not huge, but it's a fair enough size. No word on what it will exactly be made of. I gotta believe it's going to be cardboard, right? Like, surely this is going to be a paper craft type of thing, isn't it? Time will tell. Time will tell. What about we go here next? Transformers 1. Bumblebee B127, and of course, Sentinel Prime. In-hand images here, and I've been waiting for this for a while. They look great. Both of them look great. My understanding is this is the mainline stuff, and I'm not going to lie. Like, I've seen the Studio Series, what is it, 112 Deluxe Optimus, and like, I think that thing looks awful. I don't like the whole one waist piece. I don't like the little grill piece that goes up into his backpack loosely. I'm not a huge fan of his smokestacks becoming his blasters. His hands don't seem to clip on like they're supposed. Like, I think for something that's supposed to be Studio Series quality, I think it's atrocious. Especially since I think the mainline Optimus is going to look infinitely better. Right down to the axe being a solid Allspark blue with his hands seemingly around the orb that the axe comes out of. Then we get to these two, and I think they look great. I mean, I like this car mode. I even don't mind the yellow tires, because like, it's a Cybertronian alt mode, and I think it looks really cool. Love this look for Bumblebee. I feel like this is a very dirge type of look for Sentinel Prime, but I'm not hateful against it, because it's kind of the Ret G1 Sentinel Prime coloration. I think he's noted as being a truck there. I don't have a problem with it being a plane at all. And again, as we go through this, like, you can see from the back here, like, they even have something to fold in to kind of cover the hollowness there in the legs a little bit. Ooh. Yeah, I mean, you can see how you know, the pictures and everything are here. And the Bumblebee one. This is what I wanted to get to. Like, the articulation here is not bad, man. I love the face sculpt. I think it's a great looking face sculpt. People will say it seems kind of humanish, but I mean, to be fair, in G1, like, they had, when they opened their mouth, like, they had tongues and teeth and stuff. Like, we never really thought about it. It was a mouth. I always assumed that they looked sort of humanly robotic. And I feel like that's kind of what we're getting here. I like it. I like that's crisp. I like his chest comes off. I'm assuming that's his spark chamber in there, or his T-cog or some such thing. I think that's neat. He's bigger than the Studio Series Jeep version, which I thought was small. He's bigger than, he looks nice next to the Studio Series 38, I think that was. He's about the same size, height at least, as Gamer Edition Sideswipe, if that helps you out. And a little bit smaller than the Reactivate Bumblebee, which honestly is a big Bumblebee, but a really great looking bee. I love the Sentinel. I mean, I wish it was a Voyager, but for Deluxe, it's a pretty great looking Sentinel. I like the accessories. I mean, a little bit of a backpack, but it's not egregious. We've had far worse backpacks than that. I like this. I think that this looks really cool. It gives me some hope for the film designs, to be perfectly honest with you. So we'll see. We'll see how it's out. If you will recall, last week I was not hip on the idea of the how can I say this? Like the film possibly being yet another type of reboot. I really hope that that's not the route that they go. I'm really getting. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a fan of the franchise. I'm really tired of the incessant reboots. Pick an era and build that lore. Don't give us lazy fiction over and over. Pick an era, stay in your lane, build that lore, and let the rest go by the wayside. And you got to get everyone on board. If one person comes in and says, I don't want to do that, then cut them loose. Learn from the mistakes of the aligned continuity. If that had been followed the way it was supposed to be by everyone, we would have had something beautiful. A lovely continuity that, quite frankly, would have probably been the juggernaut to propel Transformers forward. Instead, what we got was too many cooks in the kitchen and a lot of hodgepodge mishmash that, while I enjoy it, it really only works as a continuity when you squint and tilt your head to the side, right? I'm tired of the reboots. That's all. And then we have this. I mean, I don't know what to say about this. I don't like these. I find them to be in really poor taste. I get that there's a lot of detail and stuff in it, but like I find this so. I'm just gonna say it. I find this gross. I find when they do this stuff, I find it disgusting. It's like that big Firebird Nicey, and like you can get the add-on kit you can get for that. I find it really gross and disgusting. And anybody who is drawn to it, I really wonder about what's going on in their brain. I get that this is an Anime Expo exclusive. I get it's a reuse of the B one, and I get that somebody's going to like it and stuff. But like to me, this is just a bad taste. It's not for me. Maybe it's for you. The more I see of that stuff, the more I'm like, I feel unclean looking at it, and I do. I feel unclean looking at it, but I don't feel unclean looking at this. Oh man, now come on, this is wild and weird, and I really don't know what to think of it. So Ruckus, love it. I'm okay with it being a pretty heavy retool of the Beachcomber mold. Enough that it has extended his height. His lower legs are definitely longer, arguably. His thighs should be a little bit longer than what they are. And I feel like where the Beachcomber feet are, we're getting a whole other different chunk that extends the length of the leg and has some heel spur junk behind it. That said, if the articulation is there and works fine, I'm okay with it. The backpack is obviously a bigger backpack, or certainly a much different backpack than what we have with Beachcomber. Actually, Beachcomber doesn't really have any backpack. It folds in really nice, actually. But this time, unlike with Crankcase, who just had the two little blasters, this TriggerCon has two big blasters over his shoulders. I can't wait to put this guy next to Crankcase, but I feel like Crankcase is going to seem like less than next to Ruckus here. I think Ruckus is the star of the set. Then we have the Bludgeon mold. When I saw this, I was like, I have no idea what's going on here. Remember, I detest IDW as a company. I don't like them. I don't think they do good work. Let me put it this way. There was a time many years ago that I wanted to be a comic book artist or writer. If IDW offered me a job, I would turn it down because I don't believe in the quality of their work. That's how little I believe in the quality of their work. I don't like their treatment of fiction. That's all. People do, I don't. So I wasn't familiar with this at all. That said, this is so wildly different from what I conceptually understand to be Bludgeon that I would never in a billion years use this as Bludgeon. I would use it as its own complete other unique character, and it's using that Bludgeon Tarn mold that I adore. This is a solid set to me. I'm 100% interested in picking this up. I absolutely want Ruckus, and I'm okay with having this sort of iteration of a Bludgeon because to me, it looks nothing like Bludgeon in the least. So I will use it as a completely different character. Love that the lower jaw is like torn off or something, and it looks like that he's eating worms or spaghetti or something. Like, do you remember the Boogeyman in wrestling? Do you remember that guy? It's the Boogeyman. And he would eat the worms, and they'd all be hanging down his chin. That's what I feel like this is. He would definitely be someone sinister. But I think I'm in for this set because I really like it. And if you like that bludgeon, if you know the IDW bludgeon and this is your bludgeon, cool. All the better for you. Get it for that. The Ruckus will be a bonus because I can almost assure you now that the Ruckus will be a great mold because the Beachcomber is pretty sweet. Let's see here. How about we go here next? Yeah, it's Shattered Glass MPG, apparently Optimus Prime. Now, there's a few things that I got to talk about here, so I'm actually going to find my information here. So, reuse of the 2019 MP44, obviously, with, you know, a different deco and whatnot. Indeed. It will retail for 181 US and will release March 29th of 2025. There's also been a tease from Takara, possibly, of a Shattered Glass MPG Jetfire. We know that there's a Shattered Glass Jetfire. I think it was MP57. So much like the Siege one got the Shattered Glass treatment, it looks like the Masterpiece may also get the Shattered Glass treatment. That's not confirmed. It's a tease at this time. That said, if you heard me say 181 US for the price for this, and you're thinking to yourself, that's not what the Optimus was. The Optimus was notably far more expensive. Well, you have to consider that this guy does not have the sound pack in the backpack. This guy does not have the trailer. So no trailer, which I'm pretty sure means no roller, no sounds, no clips or anything like that. He has his axe and his ion blaster and all the other doodads that come with the set. But you're going to have a soundless, trailerless version of Shattered Glass Optimus. I guess you could always have him steal the regular Optimus's trailer. I feel like that this price is about correct for this mold. Not that crazy. What was it, 450 US or something? It's some insane amount for Optimus. This is okay to me. I'm not angry about this at all, honestly. Then we have this, which I think is cool. Ain't that neat? This, of course, is Slag, Slug, if you prefer that. It's Magic Square's version. I'm pretty sure that this is a Legend scale, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, I've talked about this in the past, if it's the same one, and I'm pretty sure it is. I mean, I love the Dino mode. I love the Robot mode. It's a really sweet, well-articulated version of one of the classic Dinobots. I mean, not for nothing. I'm a Studio Series 86 guy. They're my Dinobots. By the way, you may have read that in Canada, the Studio Series Bumblebee has been sighted. I have not seen it. The Transformers 1 Studio Series Optimus has been sighted. I have not seen it. Between GameStop and Toys R Us. And that Swoop is out at Toys R Us in Canada, notably in a number of locations. Word is that the Toys R Us here in Newfoundland is getting exactly 0 swoops. That's the information that came to my ear, that Newfoundland is getting 0 of the Toys R Us cut of swoop. I don't know if that'll actually hold up or not. Time will tell. I'm really glad that I'm not relying on Toys R Us for swoop, but it says a lot if you ask me. And a lot of people are starting to get swoop now. So, I mean, again, make of that what you will. Okay, let's look at this, I guess. And I say I guess because it is the 40th anniversary version of the MPM3 Bumblebee. I detest this. I don't know why anybody would like it. I absolutely hate everything about this mold. I reviewed it, and it was one of the worst experiences of my life. I can't stand anything to do with this mold or this transformation. I think it's one of the worst Transformers they ever did of any line. That's how much I detest this Bumblebee. I would not only not buy this, but I saw it and I started to laugh to myself and said, this thing was garbage the first time around. Why would you do this again and think it's going to sell? Because it didn't sell that great the first time around. Sorry, if you love it, cool, but I see nothing about anything to do with this to like. Enough that I ain't even leaving it on the screen. I think it's that bad. Then we got this. And ain't this the elephant in the room? So word is that this is a leak of Studio Series 86 Optimus Prime. If it's true, this is definitely something different than I anticipated, because look at the lower legs. They are kind of flared out more, much like the Transform Element leg, much like the MP44 leg. However, I feel like the thigh is a bit short for the lower leg. I wish the thigh was a little bit longer. And I noticed that we have white around the waist and white on the thigh, but the actual hinge where he sat is still gray. Why is that not white? I always assumed as a kid when I would see Optimus that the white was silver on anybody, not just Optimus, on anybody. I always assumed that the white was silver. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe the white was white all along, but I always assumed it was a silver. That backpack is atrocious. I'm assuming a good godly portion of the truck is packed up back there, because that looks like a bumper kind of on the side. I'm sure it's meant to mimic when he's wearing the backpack like that Sideswipe has, the backpack that I have on my Earthrise one. Then we have the chest. While I like the bigger windows than the Earthrise one, that chest is far too flat. I don't know. People have asked me what I think of this. Right now, my opinion isn't, oh my goodness, this is amazing. This is the Optimus I need to get. I'm not sold on it from this picture. I need to see a lot more. However, I will say this. I am pleasantly surprised that we have what looks to be a whole new mold and sculpt. I did not expect that. So maybe this will be the definitive Optimus, but based on this picture, I'm not sold on it. And I don't like that his lower legs are white and his like pelvis is white, but his face still seems to be gray. That kind of bugs me a bit. Again, not a deal breaker, just something that for some reason I really notice it more here than the animation. Weird, I know. So I don't know. I'm not going to say I love this, because I don't, but I'm not going to say I hate it yet, because it is a new mold. I'm going to say the honest answer, because I'm always truthful with you guys. I need to see more. Right? If you're on board, cool, but this is not enough to get me on board for something that's, quite frankly, a significant purchase. And this is the last of the pictured news, what I think I'll call my top stories. And of course, it is this. I said last week, man, I would love to see the vehicle version of this, and we finally see it. And to no one's surprise, it looks very much like the MMC/IDW version. Now, a few things to note here about this guy as well. If you've been watching him like I've been watching him, he is due February 20th, I think. No, just February 2025. So this guy's coming in February. The Shattered Glass Optimus is coming in March. So if you're in for the more high-end items, keep that in mind. This guy will be $195 US. So he's an expensive lad. He does have die cast. He stands 230 millimeters, which is a little over 9 inches. I'm not sure what scale it is. Probably an MP scale. Why this isn't an MP, I don't know. The only thing I can figure is because it's kind of a crossover using the Flame Toys design. And yeah, it's Project T-Spark. It's Rodimus. To me, it's very MP-esque. Love the look of it. I mean, I'm not interested in spending 200 US on an IDW Rodimus in the slightest. I thought about maybe it could stand as Guardian Prime, but like, no. This is going to end up being 230, 250 US for 9 inches of a robot. No, I'm sorry. I'm not interested in that. If you are, cool. And die-cast to me means nothing. I don't care if there's die-cast in it. Nice if there is, I guess, assuming it doesn't kind of screw up the ratchets and the weight. But I don't really care if there's die-cast. I don't know if that's a bad thing to say or not, but I don't care about it. You know what I'm saying? But that's not the only news. Let's check in with you guys, though, before I finish up the news and we get to the other stuff. And I know I've missed a bunch of stuff here. So let me kind of scroll right up and get an idea of maybe where I might have been about. Let's see. Let's see. I'm old enough that I saw the '86 film in theater and can still remember sitting there slack-jawed after the shuttle attack. Oh yeah, once I rented this, I mean, I went home and I watched it, and I was like, okay, so Optimus is still the leader. I'm like, oh, I wonder how Rodimus Prime happens then. Maybe he just hands it off. Little did I know that there was going to be this massacre. I'm still, honestly, I'm still haunted by Prowl's face. I think that was one of the, I don't know who thought that was a good idea to show children with the smoke billowing out of his mouth and the life going out of his eyes and stuff. Like, that was terrifying as a kid. And the funny part is I used to watch like a lot of horror movies and I found them kind of hokey. And me and my friend like kind of used to laugh, then we get snacks and stuff. But that happened to Prowl like scarred me because I had, 60, 70 episodes with this character, and like I knew Prowl, and like he was the police guy and I liked him. And then this happened. I get it. But I was just a little bit of a delayed reaction, right? Because I didn't know what had happened to them really. And like I knew that we had gotten like the zombie Optimus in season 3 and the return of Optimus Prime, but like I just assumed he got old and passed off the Matrix and like just died peacefully or something, right? I didn't really know what had happened, but I didn't think that had happened to him. The Legends comics were nuts. Yes, they were. The thing is hideous. Free Pyramid doesn't include the Wrecking Balls. I doubt it. Actually, it might include the Wrecking Balls. I don't know. Wildly out of scale, but neat. Oh yeah, totally out of scale. It's wildly out of scale. I absolutely agree with you guys there. When are the Star Raiders due to come out? So pre-orders are up for Road Pig and the Thundertron, I guess 3-pack in the US on Walmart.com. They are not on .ca as of the last time I checked. If it goes like the other sublines have been, then you're probably going to start seeing them late July, and they'll probably kind of linger on the shelves and last and run until about late September, October. At least that's what's happened here. Late July to late October is the run that those things have had on the shelves here. When will it go up on Walmart.ca for pre-order? I don't know. Good question. How does those turn into that tangled mess? I'm not sure what you're talking about there now. Oh, the Devastator? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I've heard that the Devil Savior transformation is not user-friendly, though. I think that the Devil Savior looks better than the Studio series, but I mean, if you don't like the whole aesthetic to begin with, then it's not going to be the Devastator for you. It's as simple as that, right? Great G1B head. Yes, it actually, I was thinking the same thing. I was thinking, you know what? It is a good G1B head. I agree with you. We never seen tongues in G1. Are you sure about that? I'm sure that they probably had a tongue in their mouth when they'd be cackling, going, aha. I'm sure at some point I did. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. Honestly, I didn't look that close, but like they had mouths and it was, I don't know. It was human to me. We only seen teeth in Transformers Prime with most of the cast. I mean, I don't know how much studying you did of their mouths, Blue, but like I'm pretty sure I have seen it. So I'm going to stick to what my memory says. That's a decent Bumblebee and Sentinel. I agree, it is a decent Bumblebee and Sentinel. If we were all at Paramount and seeing Lorenzo, someone hold me back before I get Farrell. I got no reason to get Farrell with Lorenzo. I think more people should listen to him and just be like, okay, he's the producer. We have to make all of this fit. Hey, Omega. Hey, Albert. Ruckus looks amazing. I agree, he does. Bludgeon is based on the IDW Stormbringer miniseries. Yeah, I don't care. That's how little I like IDW. I don't care. It's going to be a terrible story because they don't know how to write and edit. I'm sorry. And I know I get passionate about it, but like as a writer, as somebody who edits stuff, as a teacher who has taught English, as somebody who has an English major, I'm embarrassed that anybody likes IDW because it's that poorly written. I'm sorry, it just is. If you like it, great. I don't understand why. I'll never understand why. Think the Megatrons would be Tarn or Prime Megatron reuse? I hope it's a new mold. I don't want it to be a reuse. If it's a reuse, I will find that wildly disappointing. I want him to be his own mold, preferably the Dreamwave design. Ruckus was my first. Was my favorite as a kid. That's fair, Blue Star. That's fair, buddy. Hey, Imperial. Yes, finally a real TriggerCon. I agree with you 100%. That Bludgeon and Ruckus set looks good for an Amazon exclusive. I agree. It looks kind of Thanos-y to me. I get that. It happened to become a wrestling themed stream because Razor Bear is doing his WWE Elite shelf. That's all. That's all. Do you think Tarn mold would make a great retool for IDW 1.0 Megatron? I have no idea. I don't know that Megatron, and I don't really know what you're talking about. So, is that the Autobot Megatron? I don't know. I don't know it enough. I try to block out that IDW existed. Let's forget about it. Like, let's just forget that that existed because it's a black eye. Sorry if you love it, but to me, it's just one of those black eyes. I don't understand it. Hey, Jay, and I'm going to call you Jay. Do I think there's a chance that they give us horrible? I sure hope they do. I really do. Sadly, I think they're going to put it in a multi-pack, but boy, oh boy, do I sure hope they do. I'm right there with you on that. Bludgeon's chin looks like that. I guess. I don't think it's a chin, though. I just think he doesn't have a lower jaw. I think that's like his neck wires and stuff, is my understanding. Earlier, I was watching the Prime First Edition Cliff Jumper, and it's the Plymouth Jumper mold. Okay. My brother said budget cuts, and I said that's Hasbro. Well, it is that. You're right. That's Hasbro. Another Shattered Glass MP Prime. Well, I mean, you know how they like to reuse those molds. I mean, every time you get an Optimus, it's got to be Shattered Glass. It's got to be, Nemesis. It's got to be the toy accurate version, the animation accurate version, then just their own deco. Then they're going to license it out a billion times. Do you not remember how many times we got MP10 over and 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 over? Do you think over the next decade they're not going to do the exact same thing with MP44 and do a quadrillion, billion, zillion versions of that exact same one over and over and over and over and over and over? Because that's what they do, man. It's just what they do, right? I bet you that none of them are going to come with that trailer anymore, though. The Mayhem Bludgeon is ugly, but if I want Ruckus, I have no choice but to get it. I agree with you, Anthony. I 100% agree with you. I'll just make it a different character because to me, it's not Bludgeon. There's nothing about that says Bludgeon to me because it's not my Bludgeon. Hey, Suited. I think it's Suited. Hold on. Yeah, Suited. Suited Collectibles. I like that. It's an interesting name. I like it. Swoop not for me until September. That's a long time. I'm hoping to get mine. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, to get mine somewhere between mid-July and the beginning of August. Fingers crossed. We'll see. We'll see how it works out. Yes, of course, another Bumblebee. Bumblebee's their cash cow. Everybody wants another Bumblebee, right? Pre-order Swoop on Amazon. That's fair. What does the 07 movie MPN Bumblebee have to do with the 40th anniversary? Well, I mean, it's 40th anniversary of Transformers, the brand, not just necessarily 40th anniversary of G1. It's to them, and they said this in one of the live streams, and I only know it because I never ever watched the live stream, and I happened to be at work one day, and the live stream came on during lunchtime at that particular school that I was working at, and I was like, I gotta sit down and eat my lunch anyways. Might as well throw on the live stream, and that's what I did. And I watched it, and they said there that it's 40th anniversary of the brand, not just of G1. That's why Legacy is getting so many like animated Unicron trilogy. comic universe, I don't know, cyberverse, and so on and so forth. That was the explanation. I think it was, I want to say it was BMAC who gave it actually, but I could be wrong about that. I got the 86 swoop and APC bulkhead this week. Nice. You got 86 swoop already? Wow, crazy. I mean, you're saying both are really great bots, but to be fair, Jason, have you gotten any of the Prime stuff yet from APC that you have not enjoyed? Optimus is singing what? Peaches? Oh, he might be singing Peaches. I wonder if Prime is playing Beethoven's Fifth. Who knows? It's a weird picture, but okay. The MPMB is a pass for me. Yeah, same here. Not for me. Optimus Prime. Do. By the way, what's with that backpack? Yeah, it's a hella backpack on it. I'm seeing so many people already acting like 86 Prime is the second coming of Primus. And that's because people are, it's funny. I have a lot of the same conversations with Transformers fans as I have with wrestling fans. And I say the same thing. And I'll say it here, I don't think I've ever said this. There's a difference between being a fan and being an addict. A fan can like something and stand back and assess. Is it actually good? In the case of Transformers, is it actually worth the money? An addict cannot. They immediately see new and they say, I need it because I'm an addict. And this has to be better because it's new. Just because something's new does not mean it has to be better. Absolutely, positively not true. It might be better, it might be worse, or it might just be adjacent. It might just be great, but in a different way. Case in point, Vector Prime just came out. We have a previous Vector Prime mold that honestly isn't even 20 years old yet and had a release as late as 2008. Excellent mold. So is the new one. How will they compare? I'm not going to go into it because I'll talk about it in the review. But there's an argument, a solid argument for the older being the superior mold. There's a solid argument for the newer being the superior mold. Same thing here. Maybe this 86 Optimus, if that is the 86 Optimus, will be better. But at this point, from that one, from that one picture, which quite frankly, I look at that one picture and I'm immediately out. Hate the backpack, hate the chest, hate the lower leg to upper leg proportion. As it stands now, based on that picture, easy keeping the Earthrise. Not even a competition. But I'm open enough to saying this is a brand new mold that maybe it will be good when I see more of it. But I got to see more of it. I can't make a full determination based on this one picture. But this one picture is not good. That looks like an MP figure scaled down, and most of us know what that can be like. Not good. I mean, I don't even know. I don't even think it looks like an MP figure scaled down because the MP actually has that like chest protrusion. This looks like it's a super duper flat chest a la, do you know what the Optimus looked like that was part of the Super Optimus Prime, not the Super Optimus Prime, the Star Convoy we got? Because the cab of that didn't turn into Orion Pax like the Evolution Optimus Prime. The cab of that turns into a smaller Optimus Prime. But the chest is super duper flat on it. This is the same thing. The chest looks super duper flat. I'm hoping it's mistransformed. Time will tell. We'll see. Because Optimus's chest ain't flat. Let's see here. And I know I'm skipping stuff here now, guys. That bot right there might save me some money. As a pass, I need the 86 Optimus to look like the Megatron must be stopped scene from the movie. If not, I'm out. And I kind of agree with you, to be honest with you. You'll say Cliff Jumper is APC's weakest link due to the knees setup. Well, I'm not going to say anything because I'm not getting it. eBay fees are so high that it's almost not even worth trying to sell anything. You make so little. Wouldn't know. Have not sold on eBay ever in my life, and I haven't bought anything off of it since 2018. So, other than the fan, which Starscream Wife bought, the computer fan. I haven't used it. I don't even go on the site anymore because I'm like, what people, are trying to get as a price on stuff is silly. Like, if this is all the sense people got is to try and charge this for something, like, I'm not playing that game. I don't want it bad enough. My money's better served in my bank account. I got the Cliff Jumper 2. It's okay. Okay, so let's kind of just very quickly run through the rest of this and kind of get out of here. I'm getting warm now. And you guys have been very kind to give me this much of your Independence Day weekend. Okay, so very first thing to note here, there is a Japanese fan book magazine that is due to come out on July the 19th. Why am I mentioning this? Because if you live in Japan, or you're going to Japan, or you know someone in Japan, and you like the translucent bumblebees, there's going to be yet another one coming out there. I don't even know which mold it is offhand. That's a lie. I do know which mold it is. It is another translucent bumblebee. You know the little one that we got in the Buzzworthy Bumblebee line that came with the little Spike, whose transformation was one step, where you tip him over on his face? I think that same mold also came out with the core class Optimus that had the trailer. It's that Bumblebee mold, except translucent. Why they do this, I don't know. If you want it, cool. The 3-0 Jazz we talked about. James Roberts is going to be at TF Nation. So is Jim Sorensen. If you're a comics person and you're going to TF Nation, rejoice, I guess. I got to be honest. I'm not a fan of James Roberts' work. I don't think he's a good writer at all. I get that he's renowned and all, but he's somebody who succeeded despite his limitations. That's all I'm going to say about it. The TMNT crossovers out in the US, Party Wallop, I think it's called. The G1 music is getting now a digital release on like Spotify or wherever you stream music from. I don't stream music, so I don't use any of those services. But if you do, cool. What else do we have here? What else? Let's see. All of that we already went through. SDCC has a miniatures, a mini-mates set that's coming out. Little small versions of Shockwave. Who else do we have here? Shockwave and the Rainmakers. So I don't know. I mean, they're 2 inches tall, so they're tiny. They're in like a box that looks like a VHS cassette. They have 10 points of articulation, which is a bit shocking. And they're going to be at SDCC, 1,000 pieces. So if you want little 2-inch Shockwave and Rainmakers with 10 points of articulation, I don't think they transform. Then I don't know, SDCC, it'll be your hookup, I guess. Dynamite Entertainment is releasing a 40th anniversary trading card set, a number of sets, I guess. That's from like Diamond Select, right? Jada is doing a 132 G1 Bumblebee, which will be a nice companion for the G1 Optimus, which I actually have, by the way. We already talked about the pre-orders for Road Pig and Thundertron being up on Walmart.com in the US. Talked about that. We talked about that and that. Transformers Galactic Trails is going to be a new video game due out in October for PC, Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo. You will race through parts of this. You will do combat and robot mode through parts of this. Looks like it has potential. Time will tell. You're getting a whole bunch of like MacGuffin pieces that have some sort of a power. It's your standard Transformers game, right? Looks pretty nice though. Like, I like the aesthetic that they're using for it. I think that looks pretty cool. We talked about that and that and that and that. And we talked about that and that and that. So there's the news. Let's do the trivia. And then we'll do the unboxing and we can get out of here. Here is the trivia. Are you ready for it, folks? Yeah, the Core Class 2-pack. The one that was Optimus with his trailer and a redeco of the Core Class Optimus. And he came with the little Bumblebee. I can't remember what the set was called. I saw it at GameStop. It wasn't the right scale for me, but I thought it was a cool looking little set. What? What's that? The Cliff Jumper in the 4-pack was a lot better than the Chase. What? Than the Chase. Oh, than the Chase felt. Oh, interesting. Okay. Here's trivia. Listen closely, my friends. Listen closely. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. From the Diaclone days, so we're going way back in time. Which Ultra Magnus accessory has not been something that's been brought forward in any of his Transformers releases? None of them. So in the Diaclone release, or certainly in one of the Diaclone releases, because there were a couple of iterations of that Delta Magnus. But in the Diaclone releases, there's one accessory that the Diaclone version of Ultra Magnus, or Delta Magnus, if you will, came with that we've never seen in any actual Ultra Magnus release. Is it A, roller? Is it B, an axe? Is it C, hold on, an extra blaster that can connect to the blaster that we all know? So like a second blaster that's able to connect to the blaster he has. Or is it D, Megatron's mace? So is it a roller, an axe, an extra blaster that connects to the blaster we all know Ultra Magnus to have? Or is it Megatron's mace? A, B, C, or D? What is the one thing that has never been brought forward? You're saying A, you're saying the mace. A says Ed, A says Mike. A lot of guys saying A. We have another A. The answer is yes, indeed. It is A, the roller, or in his case, it is the powered buggy. And fun fact, and not for nothing. Ooh, hold on. Fun fact, and not for nothing, the powered buggy actually in fiction did get a name and became, hold on, I want to make sure of what I'm saying here. The powered buggy actually did get a name to become, where is it? Because I'm sure I wrote it down. Yeah, Power Drive. Right, he became the character of Power Drive. And not for nothing, but apparently the like masterpiece Delta Magnus is essentially Power Drive acting as Delta Magnus, apparently. Really weird. Really weird. I don't know why it's not just Delta Magnus, because I don't know, but it's really weird. So yeah, the powered buggy became Powered Drive. We've never actually gotten it with an Ultra Magnus. Who knew? Who knew? Let's do the unboxing and get out of here, or this week's pickup, I should say, that I only got yesterday. I haven't even taken it out of the box yet because it's been busy, but it's, and we had a couple of guesses earlier that weren't right, but they were interesting guesses. It's, boom, the 4-pack. This way, I guess. It's the 4-pack, right, with the cliff jumper. And like, not for nothing, I don't really care about a Prime cliff jumper, but you know what? Cool, I guess, neat to have it. The Tarantulas is the weirdest one, colored in essentially prototype colors. I would argue, I mean, obviously, I very much am happy to have Squeeze play. And not for nothing, the Tarn here kind of isn't really Cyberverse Tarn now, is he? Because Cyberverse Tarn had like one arm and like some battle damage and stuff, right? Cyberverse Tarn was actually a self-aware clone that took on the moniker of Tarn, who apparently was actually based on the comic book Tarn. Like, apparently the Tarn in Cyberverse is a clone of this guy with one arm, and apparently all of the other perfect Decepticons with two arms are clones of him. And if anything, this Tarn is really a version of a perfect Decepticon, right? So anyway, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. We've gone through the entire show. We know that we have this new mic that I'm after hitting a bunch of times. I'm sorry about that. I hit the table a couple of times. Sorry about that. We have the 4-pack that'll be reviewed all in one, so that'll be kind of an epic fun review to do. And not for nothing, we will compare it to, you know, that Tarn. We'll compare it to this guy. Love this mold. We'll compare it to old Chase here as well. And not for nothing, we'll certainly compare Squeeze Play to this guy. And this guy gets a lot of flack, but I'm not going to lie. I love this guy. Always have. Think he's a great little Headmaster mold. I'm going to get out of here. I love each and every one of you. I thank you for coming by and giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know how important it is to you. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon. See what we have to offer to you through Spring, or of course, hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. While you're at it, please and thank you, hit the subscribe button. Stick around. Have some fun with us here on the channel, man. And while you are at it, don't forget, not for a moment, not for a second, to tune in tomorrow and see the Studio Series 86 Frenzy review. No, that's not what I want to say. Don't forget for a second. I didn't want to say that, but don't forget for a second that you right there, you do make a difference in the world, man. And I look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit right here inside the videos. And with that, my friends, I'm going to say, have a wonderful Independence Day weekend. Have a wonderful 4th of July weekend if you are celebrating that.